everyone, welcome back to the World Summit interviews. I am the Big Blonde, and now we are here with Mamadou from Ubuntu Tribe. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Mamadou Kwidjim Toure from Ubuntu Tribe. What we do, we are a fintech company. We basically tokenize gold and democratize access to gold by making it available from as low as 5 cents to anyone with a mobile phone. So as we do that, we source gold from different places. We have full transparency on tracking and tracing the gold. Then we refine it, and then we store it in a safe, secured vault, and then we fractionalize ownership and use blockchain technology so that anyone can now get access to gold at a minimum price. And our token is called GIFT coin. GIFT stands for Gold International Fungible Token. And it's a GIFT coin is equivalent to 1 milligram of gold, which is roughly 5 to 6 cents, a bit less, yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's awesome.
thank you.
Very impressive. And what is the biggest goal for your company?
So our vision really is to leverage on technology in order to create equal access to opportunities, regardless to wealth at birth or wealth of place of birth. And by doing so, we harness Mother Earth natural resources in a fair and responsible way, in an ethical way, so that we respect the philosophy of Ubuntu. And Ubuntu means I am because we are. It kind of highlights the fact that we are all interconnected and everything is interconnected. And as such, whenever we do something, we need to take into consideration the collective, but also the environment we live in. And when we apply this ancestral African philosophy in our business practices and making sure that those resources provided are accessible to all, and considering they have value, that everyone can have access to it, and also this way access the global economy, because as you know, gold is that one mineral that has always had value regardless of civilization across across human history and regardless of geographies. Right, so like, I mean, you told me you were born in Brazil, for instance,
Yes,
right?
I
was born in Cameroon, and if you look at the real, or if you look at the CFA or other currencies, they keep on depreciating. People lose purchasing power, and the paper money that they use, they can't even use it outside of their borders, right?
Love that.
Yet we're sitting on significant amount of natural resources. Africa, for instance, has 48% of the global gold deposit, right? 70% of the platinum, and so on. So what about reversing the curse by really putting value back to where it is and making sure anyone who lives there has also access, right? And that's why you use blockchain. You can tokenize real assets, right? And then you have full traceability. And the nice thing is, poverty is not just the fact of emerging countries. If you look at the level of indebtedness, even in America, the millennials are the most indebted generation in the history of America.
Yes.
Right? So how do you get people to escape poverty trap? Then you need to give them an asset that doesn't lose value.
Everyone is after gold.
Exactly, and then gold. With gold, you can't go wrong, right? And therefore, how do we make sure that it's not just a small group of people who historically have had access to it, but anyone can get access, right?
Wow.
So that's how we democratize access to gold as a means for financial inclusion, access to the global economy, and interconnecting people around that one asset that they all recognize and value.
Wow, that's very revolutionary. And I love the idea of giving power back to these countries, like our places. That's very impressive.
Yes, look, I'm privileged because I was born there. I was born in Africa, and I was lucky. I mean, my parents were immigrants, and I've had the chance to get, some of the greatest education worldwide. But I'm lucky, right? Not everybody will have the chance that I have. So how do you create a level playing field for the others to also somehow escape that trap? Not everyone will be able to travel and be in the right places, etc.
Yeah.
Therefore, have the right education. But before they wouldn't accept your local currency to get online education.
Yeah.
But if you have a phone and you can pay in digital gold,
Yeah.
suddenly you can get education. It's the same for telemedicine, right? It's really a portal that really gives access for people. And also, you know, inflation is rampant right now, and you're from Brazil and you see, so
I know.
right. So even in Europe, it's closing up to the 10%, right? And gold, if you think of inflation, I'm going to give you a great example, right? So in early 1900, to buy the average house in America, you would need roughly $4,600 and something close to 6 kilos of gold. So you could buy your house with 6 kilos of gold.
Wow.
Now, in let's say, like, think of 2020, for instance, right? You would need $350,000 to buy an average house instead of 4,000 back then, but you need 5.8 kilos of gold. So you need less gold to buy the same house.
You're saying gold can fix it?
Gold will fix it. There's a reason why people were, before 1971 with Nixon, the whole world was using the gold standard, right? And the dollar was backed by gold. And of course, we know what happened. So we want to make sure that that very asset really is available to everyone so that they're protected, because they're not responsible for inflation. They're the first people to suffer from it. How do you get the man on the street, the mom and pops, the middle class, the hard workers, to effectively not lose the value of all the sweat, the work that they've put into building those assets? So make sure they have a bit of gold.
Wow, that's
and
beautiful.
not everyone is going to carry it, put it under the mattress. So that's why you tokenize it, because with blockchain it's immutable.
Yeah.
And what we're really giving to the people is a digital certificate of gold ownership, right?
Wow.
It's like a title deed, but it's transferable, right? I transfer it from my phone, so I transfer it from me to you. And then you can redeem the gold anytime. So if you want, you can go to our website and say, okay, I want the gold, please send me this amount, and then it gets shipped to you.
That's very clever. And do you have an app?
Yes. So we're launching our wallet in about a month's time on iOS and Google Play, where people will be able to download the wallet and go and buy with their credit card, or even if they don't have it, they can buy with other tokens, USDT, Ethereum, Bitcoin, those gold tokens. But even if you don't have a card, we have a system for those who are outside of the financial system to buy a voucher with cash and to charge their wallet. And
that's good.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And we're launching that next year. So,
wow.
Another thing also that we're preparing for next year is that even if you don't have a smartphone, from next year, at the beginning of the second semester, you'll be able to buy our gold token with a basic phone, even if it's not a smartphone.
Wow, that's awesome.
So we have a few things lined up that really takes into consideration the people who have been excluded so far from the system, right?
I love blockchain and what blockchain is doing to the world.
Yeah, and that's why I love it too, because it's really an equalizer, and that's the beauty with technology.
Yes.
It really can allow to leapfrog and to solve current problems. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's decentralized, right? So it's really empowering for everybody who participates to the system, and that's why I've been in tech for quite a while. I made some key investments. I used to be in investment banking, etc., and I invested in the first mobile money, mobile banking, mobile payment solution in the world. Very early also in the GSM, in the mobile, etc. Some of them actually, of the companies that I invested, became unicorn and listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
Wow.
Right? And then at some point I was like, okay, this blockchain thing, now I don't want to be on the investment side, I want to be on the entrepreneur side and really use it to solve a problem, right? Because when you think of solving a problem for people and bringing a solution, for sure you'll get, if you do it right, for sure you'll get the right traction. So it took us a while to get it right because you have physical gold, it's a lot of logistics. And we were very quiet in building it, and now we're about to go out there and make it available to people. And even today, some people have been buying the gift coin from our website, right? So we've been, without much marketing, etc., and we're going to be listing on exchanges next month. And also to raise capital, the model that we have, we will be listing, we've signed to list basically in Switzerland and Singapore, and issue a security token offering that's going to be a convertible instrument. And the public and the institutions can subscribe to it, right? And that's where also it changes the game, because we have the gold coin, which is a gold backed 100% backed by physical gold and redeemable, which is a stable coin roughly, right? And then we have convertible note that you can convert into shares. So think of Amazon, right? When Amazon came out, the early years, people were buying products from Amazon.
Yeah.
But the public didn't have a chance to buy shares from Amazon until it gets listed.
Yes.
And even when it got listed, right, it had already done that in terms of hockey stick for the growth.
Yeah.
So those who benefited were a very few number of people who were institutional investors who came early. What if you give the customer the chance to also be a shareholder from the very beginning?
Yeah.
And not just a consumer of your product, but that is part and constitutive and actively helping and benefiting, and not just be a product.
It's also a DAO system. Wow.
Yeah, so we really want to, that's how we want to hack the whole system, by really creating opportunities for all early.
Ownership.
Yeah, ownership.
I'll definitely buy some gold.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping the blockchain system.
That's why we're here. You know,
we need to have like more physical and also real solutions behind everything.
Definitely, and sorry, never mind.
Right.
So you'll edit that one, right?
I love your look, by the way.
Thank you.
Very nice.
No, and what is critical here is, then you have, our model also has a circular economy embedded. Remember, Ubuntu means I am because we are. And we wanted to make sure that as we extract the resources, we do it responsibly. So we have a technology that allows to extract gold with 0 mercury.
Yeah.
0 cyanide.
You're ready for that?
Yeah. It took us 2 years to find the right, because a lot of artisanal miners really have health problems by pouring this mercury. And also remember, it goes into the soil and gets into the rivers and poisons also the waters and the fish. So even and then remember, the river goes to the ocean.
Yeah.
And then the fish that you eat is in the ocean or in the sea. So there are a lot of repercussions that people don't realize.
Yes.
Right? So we said, okay, how do we make sure that we protect the environment? So we find this thing where you don't use chemicals to extract, and it increases the yield of production by 50% for the artisanal miners. Why? Because it takes all the microparticles too.
Oh.
And then they have more gold, it's extracted in a clean way, the environment is protected, their health is protected.
Sustainable.
Yeah, it's all sustainable, and that's why we didn't just come and put a product out there. We came with the clear intention in mind to solve a problem of the industry.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why we came with this whole ecosystem. And even in our ecosystem, you will see that 10% of the transaction fees, 10% of the transaction fees is redistributed to the mining communities, to the rural communities, etc., to help them build schools, hospitals, and so on, and to also help access dual income by supporting agriculture for women, etc.
Wow.
So it's a whole circular economy, really inspired by the Ubuntu philosophy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. I think it has been one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
Oh, wow.
Interviewing.
Wow. You can't see it, but I'm blushing. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for
so
your
much.
time today.
Thank you.
Pleasure
Thank you
to
very
have
much
you.
for your time.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.